Well, I was really happy. I thought the first half we played a solid 20 minutes. Very disappointed. I thought in the second half, how we started the third quarter, thought we were sluggish and slow out of the gates, had too many turnovers, particularly in the second half. Just really couldn't get any rhythm. We couldn't get any runouts. And I thought we had, at times, our shot selection was not what it needed to be. But I thought we saw really good minutes from Grace Berger tonight. Early on in the first half, obviously, Chanel Wilson hit a couple timely threes to get us going there. It was great to see Mackenzie Holmes look comfortable. And, on a night that Jalen Penn only shoots the ball twice, I thought Allie Patberg, this is by far probably, not a good game for Allie. Overall, we're happy, obviously, with the win, but we know this, we got to be so much better, especially in the second half at finishing off opponents.
Questions for Coach?
Coach, you kind of opened that game up with that 16-0 run to start the second quarter. I guess it kind of started a little before that. I think you called a timeout after they hit a couple threes. What did you guys do better defensively after
Well, we were just, we just kept getting beat on back cuts, just simple back cuts. And what's interesting about that particular play is we run the same thing, and so we have to guard that every day. And so I think it happened a couple times to Grace Berger where she got beat on a back cut. Chanel Wilson, the same thing. So there was a lot of frustration. One being that, we run something very similar to that. Two, knowing that was part of the game plan was to stay underneath our man. We're not a deny, regressive, up and out and try to deny passes. Just that's not who our identity is defensively. We are a gap, sit in the gap, try to sit down and guard the ball with the help from our teammates. And so that was kind of frustrating. I just thought we got a little bit overzealous, and it could be first game. We were some of those kids out there were excited, and I think their effort, their intentions were in the right place, but that's not how we guard. So that was a little bit frustrating.
And then Grace, I think you said last week you thought she'd show the difference from the get-go, and she made you look pretty good.
Yeah, she did. I mean, she just can score at so many different levels, and as I said, she really spent a lot of time this summer on her long game and really worked on her three-point shot. And she realized that, in order for our team to get better, she had to get better in certain areas. And it was nice to see that the fruits of her labor pay off for sure. So she had a great game.
Coach, Will Trubshaw, Indiana Daily student. Going off more for Grace, she stuffed the stat sheet, 24 points, 7 boards.
Yeah.
4 assists, but also 4 steals. She was really all over the place.
Right.
Can you see her as maybe filling in the point guard role too? Obviously, you got Allie and
Sure.
Chanel. She did it all out there.
Right, for sure. And we had to use her a little bit last year when Allie Patberg went out with her shoulder injury, and we had between she and Bindu. They both played a few minutes at the point. Grace actually played more of a point guard in high school than anything else, so she's very comfortable. As far as her ball handling and I mean, she's superior. But the thing with Grace is she's more comfortable off the ball because Grace isn't by nature she's very quiet, and so in order to play that point spot, you have to run your team and you have to be vocal and loud, and so she's more than capable. But until we can get that voice, to where it needs to be, making sure that her teammates are where they need to be, but we can certainly use her at that spot for sure.
One more question.
Sure.
Do you feel that these 24-point outbursts like this, will this be a regular occurrence this season?
I'd love for that to happen, right? The thing I love about her is that she's super confident, and not only do obviously the coaches have confidence in there, but her teammates have so much confidence in her, and so whether it's in practice or whether it's on the sideline, they are in her ear about going and making a play, because what we found with Grace is she's pretty consistent. She doesn't take bad shots, and when she does, either pull up for a mid-range shot or try to get to the rim, something good usually happens. So I'd love for this to be a nightly occurrence for her, for sure. But she certainly gives us another piece that we missed a year ago.
Jared in front.
Hey, Coach. Jared Rigdon, IU Athletics. Chanel Wilson first, regular season action tonight. What is it like to have a point guard come off the bench and be able to handle the ball and shoot the ball with Pat Britt on the
Well, it's nice, especially on the nights where Allie plays as poorly as she did. And Allie knows that. She knows that she played poorly. I'm not telling Allie something that she doesn't know, but we've seen Allie play so much better. But yeah, I mean, Chanel certainly gives us a backup point guard. They're different in terms of speed and quickness. But what's great about the both of them is that they can stretch you out, and Chanel has shown and proven in practice, and then obviously tonight, I think our fans got a little bit of an idea that she can knock down the three with a lot of confidence also.
Hey, Coach. Reggie
Hey.
from Indy Sports Daily. Grace was a big part tonight, but overall the team looked like they played with an extra level of intensity and confidence that we saw at some points
Sure.
last year, but also lacked at some points.
Right.
too. How big was Grace's confidence in this game to play a role in the final outcome, and some of the newcomers this year as well?
Right. Well, I think it's always, one of the things that we've talked about is our depth. That's real positive. And a year ago, what we didn't have was enough pieces coming off the bench that were going to give us any kind of a firepower there and put points on the board for us. So that's all real positive with Chanel and Mackenzie Holmes, coming off, and Kiana, and her runouts and whatnot, because she obviously has some, she's a veteran, she's a junior, so she has some experience there. But I thought the start we got off, especially probably in the midway through the first quarter, obviously the second quarter, I thought we played with much more intensity, and then I thought the second half though that's where we lost some of that. So one of the things about the difference between being a good team and a great teams, they don't lack in any intensity from quarter to quarter or half to half, right? And that's where we got to grow, and that's the conversations that we got to continue to keep and have with our group. Is that if you want to be a great team, then you're going to play for a full 40, and you're not going to come out in that third and turn the ball over 5 times. You're going to have great ball security. You're going to have great ball movement. You're not going to allow them to take away your hit aheads. And I thought we settled in and got a little bit too comfortable. So it's going to be a great teaching moment for us come film tomorrow. We talk about those lapses that we had in the second half. And hopefully we'll turn around on Saturday and we'll build off of that and we'll learn from it. And we won't have those thirds in that third quarter and that fourth quarter that we had as far as our lack of scoring and our lack of ball security.
Hey, Coach. Austin Render, Hoosier Network. You talked about the defense needing to go a little bit further for Mackenzie Holmes, but the offensive output she showed tonight, is that what you kind of knew she had in her, or what we should expect?
Yeah, for sure. She's shown in practice she has soft hands. She can catch a lot of different things. She's more comfortable on the left block than she is the right. And as I said to her tonight, she's going to have to grow up fast and get comfortable on both blocks. But you're not a Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Maine, and score as many points as she scored and average as many points as she's averaged, by not being able to score the ball. So I think the best is still yet to come for her.
Question.
Hey, Coach. Stephen Walker, Indiana Daily student. The first half, you guys were very efficient, shooting the ball over 60% in both quarters, and that took a big dip in the second half. And you you said that the shot selection was bad. Was that
Right.
the only factor that you saw as to why the shots weren't falling, or was there something that the Mountaineers were doing defensively?
Well, we were sloppy. We turned it over 14 times in the second half. We went into the halftime pretty pleased. We ended up only turned it over 4 times. So I thought, when we get careless with the ball, then that leads to other problems for us, all right, which leads to bad shot selection, which leads to late shot clock opportunities, but also, it just puts us in we're shooting a rush shot, and there's no flow to what we're doing. We're just trying to attack and get the best shot. So we put ourselves in some really bad positions tonight. Whether we were just careless, like I said, with the ball, whether our timing was off offensively, our cutting and our passing, we weren't catching clean. There were a lot of things that attributed to that second half. I think our scoring, where it was suspect, you still 47% for the game that's not a bad percentage, but you guys obviously in the first half was so good. We shooting 60 that I think we probably gave you that kind of a false sense of we're highly doubtful that we're going to come back out and shoot at a 60% clip in the second. But I was really frustrated with our lack of ball security, just how careless we were.
Anything else for Coach? Yeah, go ahead.
Do you feel like with the addition of Chanel and with Grace's uptake this year that it will take a little bit of pressure off of Allie, not having to do as much as she did last year?
Yeah, I hope so. Allie is a typical 38-minute kind of point guard for us, and so, we took her out as she played how many minutes tonight? Does that say 29? And that's a great thing about having Chanel, but the idea behind being able to rest AP is that she comes out rested, making good decisions, making the right play, making the right passes, and we saw tonight that she was especially in that second half, I thought she was very careless. But we'll go back and she'll show up tomorrow for practice. She's already apologized, more than once. And she'll be ready to go. I mean, that's just the kind of kid she is. So, I would suspect come Sunday, she'll be much better.
Hey, Coach, didn't get a chance to ask you last week, but can you update us on Shayla's status?
Beeler, she's in concussion protocol. Happened in practice the day of Hoosier Hysteria. That's why she wasn't at Hoosier Hysteria. And, concussion protocol means it's day to day.
Austin, last one.
Do you see Chanel and Allie playing together a little bit more as the year goes on?
Yeah, I think we showed a little bit in the exhibition game, and then today, putting Allie Patberg off the ball a little bit. We're comfortable with that. When the nights where JP was quiet, like tonight, or even Bindu has been at times, it's nice to have the rotation, a bigger wing. That's what Allie gives us. Not only is she a point guard, but she's a big point guard, and that can shoot the ball and can stretch you out, so you can play her off the ball as well. And then obviously Nell gives us the quickness.